So what happens when a man who has literally everything starts to wonder what it's all really worth? We're going to dive into a story about the dizzying heights of fame, those quiet moments that actually define who we are, and, well, the ultimate measure of a life.
All right, our story kicks off like most of his days do, with the entire world's opinion. We meet our guy, this celebrated actor, scrolling through the hot takes on an interview he did last night, and, no surprise, he's the main event.
You see, the world pretty much sees him in black and white. To some, he's a self-made genius. To others, a completely self-obsessed titan. He basically lives his life right in the middle of this constant debate, a debate he fuels himself with his own, unfiltered honesty. But to him, all of this, it's just noise, labels. He just kind of dismisses them with a faint smile. Arrogance? Nah, he'd say just speaks in facts. I mean, he clawed his way to the top, and in his mind, that's really the only truth that matters.
His morning gets interrupted by his advisor. And this guy, he never knocks. He just appears in the doorway. He's this constant, uninvited fixture in his life. The actor, for his part, never, ever makes eye contact. He just stares at a spot on the wall. He probably couldn't even tell you what his own advisor looks like. The advisor gets right down to business, rattling off the usual report, just laying out the sheer scale of the actor's wealth. He doesn't just call it money, though. Oh, no. He frames it as a dynasty, a legacy that's going to be secure for generations. And then the conversation pivots to the schedule. Galas, photo shoots, appearances. It's just this relentless machine of public demand. He's not really a person anymore. He's a product. And believe me, the market is hungry. And you can just feel the walls closing in. As the advisor keeps droning on, you see the actor's jaw tighten. He is totally trapped by the very success he built for himself. He's both the king and the prisoner in his own golden cage.
So that evening, he goes to a party, a success party. Supposedly, it's in his honor, but the whole thing just feels loud and empty. It's filled with people who know his name, but they have no idea about the silence that's just growing and growing inside of him.
As he's leaving, he notices something over by the entrance. There's a commotion. A security guard, who is clearly drunk, is aggressively shoving an elderly couple who'd somehow slipped past the velvet ropes. It's just this small, ugly little moment.
And the actor steps in. He doesn't yell, he doesn't make a big scene, he just places a hand on the guard's chest, pushes him aside, and says one single, firm word. And right as he does it, he sees it. The blue glow of a dozen phone screens, all recording.
What happens next is this really quiet act of kindness, just a world away from his public life. He personally makes sure the couple is okay, even drives them home to their small apartment himself, and then just disappears into the night before they can even really thank him. He gets back to his huge, silent house, and waiting for him is this mysterious figure, a boy who just always seems to be there. His presence is this quiet constant in the middle of the actor's chaotic life.
The actor starts talking to the boy, but it's not about the incident at the party. Nope. It's about his empire. He's just filled with this sense of pride, this limitless ambition. He's convinced he's building something that will last forever. But the boy, he doesn't respond with the praise the actor is probably expecting. Instead, he just asks this simple, incredibly profound question that just completely changes the entire mood of the room. The boy starts to tell him Tolstoy's famous story, this allegory about a peasant whose ambition has absolutely no limits, a guy who literally runs himself to death just trying to get more. And then the boy delivers the final devastating line of the whole parable. It's this stark reminder that no matter how huge your empire is, no matter how much you own, all you'll ever really need is 6 feet of earth. And you can just see the actor grappling with that. It's a bitter pill to swallow. His life's work, his legacy, his entire empire, it all suddenly feels so fragile, measured against this final, humbling truth. And right into this heavy, philosophical moment, his wife walks in, and she offers a perspective that is, well, a whole lot more grounded. He tells her what happened at the party, the guard, the couple, the cameras, all of it. And she doesn't feed his righteous anger. Instead, she just gently brings him back to reality. And then, with this little bit of sharp, witty humor, she just perfectly reframes the whole grand gesture, teasing him and bringing him right back down to earth with a single, perfect line.
And that's where the story leaves us, with a question that echoes from Tolstoy's Parable all the way to our actor's gilded cage. It's the ultimate question, really, of ambition versus contentment. How much is ever truly enough?